Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another fragrance tag. This time I forgot what the name of this tag was, but I wrote out all the questions. I'm gonna answer every single one of them. Nobody tagged me, I'm not gonna tag anyone. If you want, feel free to answer these questions. If you are a reviewer, just post your video, or if you are just a subscriber or just passing by, feel free to comment down below your answers to these questions. So the first question is, why do you wear fragrances? So for me it's mostly a mood booster. When I wear a nice fragrance, I basically, no matter how my day goes, I'm instantly a little bit happier. Um, Now, obviously, this won't make me like happy all the time or something, but it definitely boosts my mood. Um, I have to say, a lot of people wear fragrance for confidence, and I do get more confident if I wear a nice fragrance. But I think it's rooted in my happiness that I feel, or the joy I feel from wearing a nice fragrance. And when I feel happy, I feel more confident. So that's how it works for me. Obviously, it's nice if, I mean, mostly I would say I wear it for myself because I'm just really into nice scents. But obviously, everybody likes to smell good. Everybody likes to be, you know, perceived, 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 to be seen as a pleasant, person. And I think having a nice smell adds something to that, but I don't think like fragrance won't do much to you. Like, don't expect a fragrance to kind of solve all your problems and make you super attractive or something. I think fragrance just gives you a little more something, makes you a little bit more likable, but really what really matters is inside. You have to work on your personality and not expect a product to kind of get you, like, give you a better position in your social life or something. That's why I really dislike actually the people who make fragrance videos like top 10 compliment getters and stuff. I will not make a video like that because I always feel like people who make those videos, they just kind of profit from the insecurity of their subscribers. Like, you just clickbaiting them because they are kind of insecure about themselves and they are looking for a fragrance that will make them stand out and be worthy or something. But it's so stupid. I think um, everybody should feel confident in their own skin without any expensive product or anything. um, that being said, I'm not confident either. Like, I'm not confident, I don't have very good social skills or anything like that, but I don't expect like a clothing or fragrance to solve all these problems. You really have to work on your personality, I think, and that's why I think it's really it kind of wraps uh, hold on, how did I say that? Kind of rubs me in the wrong way when I see all these clickbait videos, because I always feel like they are just profiting of people's insecurities. So yeah, fragrance can make you feel better about yourself and everything, but it won't solve all of your problems. Like, if you are a nice, will sound rude, but if you are a 7, a nice fragrance will make you a 7.2 or something. Like, really, I think the most important is what's inside, so work on that first. Okay, sorry, that was kind of a rambling, and maybe it was unpopular, but I think, yes, that's my opinion. I think these clickbait videos with the compliment getter things, it's just kind of sad. I don't know. The next one is how much and where do you apply perfume? So I used to be a shy sprayer. I would spray like 3 sprays on my neck and that was it. Now that I have more fragrances, I tend to be a little more brave about it. Because if I wear a nice fragrance, I want to be smelled. So, and I also I want to smell myself. Like sometimes 3 sprays is just not enough. But it really depends on what fragrance you use. If a stronger fragrance, you maybe 3 is enough, or even 1 spray. But if it's a weaker fragrance, I would nowadays I would spray 2 on my arms, 1 on my wrist, and 1 here, 2 on my other arms, and at least 4 on my neck, like basically behind my ears on both sides, 1 here on the front and 1 on the back of my head. And sometimes I also like to spray on the back of my head, on the hair area, because I heard that it really nicely works on hair, like fragrance kind of projects well from hair. So sometimes I do that, but only with weaker fragrances. If I have a stronger one, maybe 3 is enough. Like yesterday I was having lunch with one of my friends, and he had, like, we've been hanging out for a while, and like a few hours passed, and we were sitting at the table, and I could just smell his fragrance from the other side of the table. And I asked him how many he sprayed, and he said he sprayed 3 on his neck. So sometimes 3 is enough. I also don't want to overwhelm everybody around me, so I have to be really self-aware about the amount that I spray. But again, nowadays I'm more brave about it, especially everybody's wearing masks. So yeah, I would suggest kind of test it with your family or something, like overspray it, spray little, like different amount, and ask them how much is too much or something. Like kind of you have to test it with every fragrance, because every fragrance is different. So yeah. Oh, and sometimes I like to just spray one under my shirt, because the skin is kind of warm and thin in this area, so it warms up better. Yeah, that's it. The third question is, how many perfumes do you use per day? So I know that some people like to use more fragrances, like 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. I personally usually just used 1, and I use it before I'm going out. But sometimes I use it for even when I'm just alone home. So I would say 99% of time I use only 1. But sometimes, I use 1 during the day. I go take a shower, and then I just crave something, so I like spritz 1 on my on the back of my hand or something. So just a little something, but usually just 1 spray. Like even now that I have more fragrances, I'm kind of paranoid about wasting it or something. I know it's so stupid because I have way too many fragrances, but still I don't want to waste it. That's so stupid. Like if you enjoy, you should spray it on, even if you are just alone, even if it's for bedtime or something. Really do everything that makes you happy. So yeah, I'm working on that. But yes, usually just 1 per day. The fourth question is, do you enjoy other perfume products? Well, when I just buy something like a shower gel or bar of soap, I do enjoy if it smells good, but I don't really go out of my way to purchase like a more expensive something. Like honestly, from shower gels and bar soaps, I just buy basically almost the cheapest options, and obviously I sniff it before, and if it smells good, then great. But even if it's kind of like boring or something, I don't really mind, because I don't know. It's like for the time when I wash my hand or wash my body, it's just a few minutes. I don't really care how it smells. Like I can see myself spending way too much money on the shower gel or even a hand cream or candle or something. I know people spend like $100 on a candle and stuff. I mean, it's your money, do whatever you want, but there is no way I would ever spend so much money on a candle. So, and I still buy candles. Like, this was like, honestly, $2 maybe, $2. And it smells so good. It smells like tropic flowers, no, tropic fruits, and it's kind of like passion fruit and mango. And I don't know, for me it's enough. I don't need fancy candles. I don't know, it's just me. You do you. But yeah, I enjoy scented products, but I don't really go out of my way to find a good one or something. I just don't really care. It's mostly fragrances for me. So the next question is, this is gonna be a long video, I already see it. I'm rambling so much. Like, usually I just talk about fragrances in my reviews, but these questions are kind of all around the place, like not just fragrance. So I'm kind of rambling a little bit. If you enjoy, stick around. If you don't, well, you will pause it anyway. So the next question is, what represents your current uh, taste and aesthetic in fragrance? The thing is that I'm so in the beginning of experiencing with different things that I can't really pinpoint one aesthetic in fragrance or one, you know, kind of current mood for fragrance. Uh, right now, in this kind of late spring weather, I really enjoy Versace the Dreamer and Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. They're kind of similar, but I feel like they are working so well in this weather, so I would say maybe those two. But again, I wear all the time different things, so right now I don't really have. Maybe a few years later I could kind of have a more refined opinion about this, but right now I can't. The next question is, fragrance you love but don't wear often, and why? I would say it's probably something that I only have a sample of because it's too expensive to buy the full bottle and I don't want to waste the sample. So I really enjoy Byredo Gypsy Water, but only the opening and the middle notes. The dry down is kind of boring to me, so I would definitely not pay the full price for a bottle because it's way too expensive and it's very bad performance. And the dry down is kind of basic, but the opening and the middle notes are absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's amazing. Definitely test it if you have the chance. Gypsy Water by Byredo, but I don't wear it much because I only have 2 mls and I only like the opening and I don't memorize it. But it kind of applies to all of my more expensive samples, like more expensive to me. So like Montal and stuff, Montal Intense Cafe, I have 2 samples. I could wear it every day, but I usually just wear it when when it really fits the occasion. Like, last time I wore it, I went to have birthday cake with one of my friends for his birthday, and in this cafe scenario it really worked. So yeah, I would say my samples. Next question, do you divide fragrances by masculine, feminine, seasonal, and so well, I don't want to divide it because I really think a lot of things that are divided to female and male categories are kind of just social constructs, and therefore I don't think scent has like gender or anything. Everything should be unisex. That being said, obviously from my childhood, I see around me all the time what's considered feminine, what's considered masculine. So therefore, obviously, in my mind, I can totally separate what's considered feminine, what's considered masculine, even though it's just a social construct. I definitely can't oversee this, these old patterns in my mind that kind of society build up, build it up, built up, yeah. But when it comes to me choosing fragrance, I definitely don't care if it's marketed towards men, marketed towards women. I can see why some of them are considered this or that, but if I like something, I'm just gonna wear it. Even though I have to be honest, I still feel kind of, shy about wearing like buying. I don't even have female fragrances, like full bottles, but like I know it's stupid, but I would feel a little bit weird about going to a shop and buying a female fragrance for me, even though I believe they are all unisex. So I think everybody can relate to this. Like we were all raised kind of the same way. But again, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be closed in this box that I can wear this and this. I want to wear whatever I want. So yes, in my mind, I definitely divide them by female and masculine because I was living in this society for way too long. But at the same time, in practice, I want to think that I don't really care about these labels. So yeah, but honestly, I mostly like to move kind of in the middle. Like for me, usually what works is unisex fragrances. I feel like it's the best of both sides of the story. So yeah. And do I divide by seasonal? Definitely. Uh, well, everybody knows this, but in spring and summer, mostly fresh, lighter, brighter scents work, and in um, fall, winter, spicy, woody, deep, dark, sweet things. So I definitely divide by seasonal. And I do think you can wear whatever you want all year round, but I just know what works for me in different seasons. So yeah, that's it. The next question is, how do you purchase fragrances? So I usually, if I have the chance, I'm gonna go to a shop and test different fragrances. If anything suits my fancy, I'm gonna not buy it in the shop. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna go online, I'm gonna research for all my trustworthy websites and find the cheapest price. Even if it's the cheapest price, I usually just put it on my wish list and wait for a few weeks if I still want it. If the price goes lower anywhere else. So I really try to be less impulsive in buying fragrance because I had some blind buy uh, disappointments. Uh, so yeah, if I have the chance, I try to order a sample or test it in a shop. If I don't, I have to do a lot of research. I'm gonna go read all Fragrantica comments. I'm gonna go watch every single YouTube video before blind buying, and even then, maybe it will be still disappointing. But I try to reduce the risk of having a bad choice of blind buys. So yeah, I definitely do blind buys, and I had some really successful and some really disappointing ones. But yeah, I think mostly, and that's my advice. Definitely test everything if you have the chance, and if you don't have the chance, just do your research and pull the trigger and go for it if you can afford it. So, and blind buy, obviously. So the next one is, what fragrance was not love at first sniff? Well, honestly, most of my fragrances, oh, well, either I like them for the first sniff or I dislike them for the first sniff and continue disliking it. But now that I talk about it, I remember it's so strange. But when I first smelled Montal Intense Cafe, I was like, no, this is not for me. This is like I was in the beginning of my journey. So yeah, I was like, this is too kind of oriental to me. This is just too much. I don't even know why, but like Intense Cafe is so pleasant and crowd pleasing. Like I don't know why I was like that in the first sniff, but I remember I wore it in the next day and I absolutely loved it. Like it didn't even smell like the day before. It was really strange. But I have this a lot of times, like when I spray something in a shop and I dislike it, like a few months later I test it again and it smells absolutely different to my nose. So definitely don't give up on fragrances after your first sniff. You might come around to really enjoy them. Now, Intense Cafe is like one of the most beautiful scents I ever smelled, hands down. So, yeah. Uh-uh-uh. How do you handle fragrance-based disappointments? Um, Honestly, I'm kind of bad at it. Like, if I order a fragrance, probably I've waited for it for weeks or days, and when it arrives and it's a disappointment, probably when it's a blind buy, I get really annoyed. I read again Fragrantica comments, try to, find any negative things that I experienced with it. I get really angry, like at the YouTubers who recommend it as an easy blind buy and stuff. So yeah, I usually handle it kind of badly. Like for a day, my mood is kind of down because of it, because I'm just so excited to receive it, and when I get it and I don't like it, it's just so annoying. Probably you can relate, but I don't, I don't get too upset or for too long. Probably the next day I'm just gonna, okay, not the next day, I'm gonna still test it, and if I happen to dislike it, still I will just, take a picture, put it online, and try to sell it. So it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely annoying. The next question is, fragrance on your wish list that you are not able to purchase and why? Well, if I'm not able to purchase a fragrance, it's either because it's too expensive or because it's not available. On my wish list, I have Banana Republic, Dark Cherry, and Amber. It's currently not available in my country. The other one that I'm really interested is Sarah Jessica Parker Stash. It's also not available in my country recently. These are both kind of cheap, and these will be blind buys. I never tested them, but I heard a lot of good things about them, so I really wanna get my nose on them, but they are currently out of stock everywhere. Uh, and also I have like a bunch of expensive fragrances that I can't currently afford. Uh, so there's that. I don't wanna make like a long list, but there are a lot of nice expensive fragrances that I can't afford right now. That's the main reason actually. But sometimes it's just not available, so that's too. The next question: what percentage of your collection is niche designer, and celebrity? Well, honestly, I don't think I have any niche, unless you count some of the samples that I have. I can't really afford niche. Most of my fragrances, like 95%, would be designer, I think. But even like from the designers, it's like just randomly. Some of them are like, Zara or Banana Republic or United Colors of Benetton, like kind of these small shops. Some of these are like, Versace, Burberry, um, just, random designers. Like, I don't have a huge designer fragrance collection or anything, but if I have to say, mostly they are designers. And I have just one Zlatan Ibrahimovic fragrance. He's a football player. He is considered a celebrity, I guess, but I don't really like that fragrance. But I do have that one, but only that one. And recently, I'm on the hunt for the Sarah Jessica Parker Stash, because that's a unisex woody fragrance that I'm really interested in. So yeah, 95% I would say designer. Um, And that was all the questions. I really like this tag because this didn't really ask about, you know, fragrances. It's mostly about all the stuff around fragrances. So it was a little bit different. If you are made this far, thank you so much for watching. Check my other videos. I usually post reviews and sometimes tags, sometimes lists, sometimes first impressions, sampling, stuff like that. Definitely check my channel, check my other videos. If you want to subscribe, comment what you think. You can definitely answer these questions down in the comment section. I'm genuinely curious about your take. It's always fun to me to watch tech videos. Like, I'm just so interested how other people, uh, you know, use fragrances and stuff. What are their choices and favorites? So yes, thank you so much for watching again. See you next time. Goodbye.